Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. This is your host, Keely Austin. Today is Money Monday. It is December 7th. Very grateful to be here with you today. Our quote of the day today is remember the goal and never give up. Some dates to take note of. We have our Renatus National Conference coming up March 18th through the 20th. Just in a couple of months here. Make sure that you mark your calendar for those 3 days, get those cleared out so that you can be completely present for 3 days of awesome training. We're meeting online for our national conference. The theme is shifting higher into focused transformation. We also have our dates for a leaders retreat. We're going to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, August 13th through the 17th, 2021. Cross your fingers that we're able to go this year. Really, really excited for the Hug Fest and to see you all there in Mexico. We also have our Monday Founders Live. Make sure that you don't miss out on the Founders Live. It's every Monday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. There are 3 kinds of people in this world: people who make it happen, people who watch what happened, and people who wonder what happened. Also, this weekend on Saturday, we have an intensive with the one and only Chris Albin. So make sure you tune into our Saturday intensive. And for those who don't know, we did move our Super Saturday to the 19th. So this weekend is our intensive. We are doing an intensive with Chris Albin from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Time. And then the following weekend, the 19th, is our Elevate Super Saturday. Every week we have a private capital masterclass each and every Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure that you're tuning into that. There's a lot of fun happening there, a lot of great conversations around building private capital. We also have our dream call, the daily real estate action mastermind. That's happening Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. Mountain Time. We also have our fabulous Friday morning with Lily Portas on every Friday from 8 to 9 a.m. with Lily. She is sharing with us what's working for her in her business. For those who have been on these calls for a long time, we've been doing these Monday through Thursday for quite some time, several years. And so now we're excited to be meeting with you Monday through Friday. And we also have our daily Zoom up call with Michael Huggins and Scott Rowe. That is happening Monday through Friday at noon. It's only about 20 minutes long. Make sure you tune in. We also record each of the Zoom up calls. Each day we have a new student, or not a new student, but a new story that we're sharing. So tune into those Zoom up calls each and every day at noon. Happy to have you there. And then also make sure you tune into the oyesoes.com. It's a website that was just put together not too long ago where you can watch a short 6-minute video that Michael Huggins put together. It talks about what the OES is, all of the value that comes with being a part of the optional event subscription, and then also how to sign up. Last week's house tour. Every Wednesday we do a house tour, and last week's we toured Andy Coates' Flip. This was a virtual tour we did, and the purchase price was $330,000. Rehab is $94,000. We've got the money cost, the closing costs accounted for, and then the ARV is around $600,000. I know that he's already got multiple offers for the property, lots of showings happening. And the potential net profit on this one is $142,000. So congratulations to Andy for a 6-figure net profit. That's absolutely incredible. Here is a quick snapshot of our weekly reoccurring events. If you'd like to take a screenshot, feel free to do so. Each of the events you can find on teamelevateusa.com. But of course, first, make sure you register in Helios. In Helios, you can see all of these events as well. Just search for either Laura Black or Michael Huggins, and these will pop up. And then again, you will access the event through teamelevateusa.com. So every Tuesday, we have our profits intro at 12:30 Mountain Time. Wednesdays, we have our house tour in English. As I just mentioned, we had that house tour last week with Andy. It was an awesome tour. So make sure you tune in each and every Wednesday to our English house tours. And then we are also offering on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. an AIT bonus track study group offered in Spanish. On Thursdays, we've got all kinds of events to choose from. So Thursdays at 7 p.m., we have our house tour offered in Spanish. We've got our Pillars of Wealth intro presentation, our follow-up and funding webinar. We've got an onboarding session, an essential session, business development study group, plus our multifamily, wholesaling, and short-term rental study groups. We do record these morning calls. We're also on Facebook Live. You can find the recordings on our Facebook page as well as on our YouTube channel. Our Facebook page has a lot of important announcements, a lot of great content there. So make sure you tune into that. If you're not a part of it, just reach out to us or request to get added to that, and we'll make sure you get added. It's Renata's Team Elevate. And then our YouTube channel is Elevate Renatus. So subscribe to that. Check out all of the Zoom up recordings. Those are all there for you to share with your guests. So a lot of great value. Make sure that you're taking advantage of all of our awesome resources that are offered to help move you along with your business. So today is Money Monday. We get to learn from Michael Huggins. Michael Huggins has been in this business about 10 years now, if not a little bit longer. And he has a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge to share with us. Michael, from the beginning, he was working 2 jobs. He was frustrated and he was broke. He wanted to make a change. He knew he needed to make a change. After paying his student loans for so long, he had realized the balance hadn't even changed yet. And he had just been dumping all this money towards interest, and he didn't understand how that worked. And that was really frustrating. So at the same time, again, I mentioned he was working 2 jobs, working at Jiffy Lube and Sears Auto, also while living in his girlfriend's mother's basement. He, again, knew he needed to make a change. He learned about real estate investing. He found an ad in a newspaper, actually, and that's how he found Renatus. He dove into his classes. He took this business very, very seriously from the start, and it really, really shows. If we fast forward now, we've got Michael Huggins on the PAC, which is the President's Advisory Council. So he works directly with Bob Snyder, our CEO, and he has earned millions in this business now. And he's also most recently working on an incredible project in Tennessee where he is building a large food forest on about 260 acres of land. So it's really, really incredible. If you get to chat with Michael or you get to meet Michael, make sure you ask him about his most recent project that he's working on. Again, he's got a lot of experience to share, so make sure you take notes. Good morning, Michael. How are you today? Do we not have Michael on the line? Well, I don't see Michael here, so I'm going to text him. Skyler, have you heard from Michael this morning?
I have not, no.
Well, as you can tell from our lovely photo here, he does have a baby. So maybe something's going on with his sweet little son. Well, he's on his way. Let's go ahead and let's hear a highlight from your weekend. What was something that was good for you that happened over the weekend? A win, something productive that maybe you did, something special that happened to you. You can feel free to come off mute or go ahead and share it in the chat. And we'll just give Michael a couple minutes to join us. For me, I went to a park. I haven't really been spending a lot of time outside. I'm usually a big hiker, but haven't been lately for whatever reason. So it felt really, really good to get outside, go to a park, do a little bit of yoga and some exercise.
Hi, this is Cheryl Blanchette.
Hi, Cheryl.
Okay, so we were looking at a property in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And my initial look at the property, it showed me all of these properties that sold for $365,000. But the tax value was only $40,000. So I was confused because that didn't make any sense to me. And on deeper look, what they did is they purchased a lot of houses, and then the county put each house at the total selling price. So I had to go into the county records and find what the property was actually sold for on the deed. And it was a great learning experience.
Oh, very awesome. So you definitely learned something big, and that just came from taking action. You wouldn't have learned that had you not been out there taking action. That's awesome, Cheryl. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Sheldon, you're off mute. How's it going?
Sorry about that. No, that was my mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. No worries. Okay, so we've got Corey and Ron put a flip under contract and made an offer on another. Today's they close on another wholesale. That's awesome. Corey, is that you or is it Ron?
It's me. And we sold an essentials over the weekend.
Woo, congrats. Making it happen. I love it. Did anybody else make any sales over the weekend? Even if it was an order entered, maybe it's not funded quite yet. Any orders entered in over the weekend?
I am being corrected, Keely.
Oh.
Ron sold an essentials over the weekend.
Love it. Okay. We have, is Ron a validator by any chance?
That's his secondary.
Okay. That's awesome.
Kelly, I just want to remind everybody that the ICM renewal is on.
Yes.
So get on and renew your ICMs.
Yep. You would have noticed this morning or over the weekend. I noticed first this morning when I logged in. Yes, it had me renew my ICM agreement. So make sure that you get that taken care of. Arif got it taken care of. Great job. And Diana Torres sold an essentials last Thursday. Awesome work, Diana. Daniel, who hosts the Spanish property tours? We want to learn to do the same. Okay, Ryan and Laura Black host them usually. Perfect. Thanks, Skyler. Appreciate it. And we have Mr. Huggins in the house. Good morning, Michael. How are you? Oh, that's Skylar tricking me.
So while I'm here too, I wanted to go over a few things. I'm going to post a link in the chat box for everyone to build for the intensive. So we put together a little bit of a marketing packet for Chris Albin's intensive, which will be coming up on the 12th. And so let me pull that up for you in the chat. And this should be a shared Google Drive link. So you can access the flyers that were built, and I'll go over it real quick so you can see what's in here. Let me share my screen. Good morning, everybody. All right, so you can all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So in here, I'm going to keep adding to it. I still need to finish out the email template for it. So similar to what we did on Super Saturday a couple of weeks ago, we built a comprehensive marketing packet inside of this folder for you to use across a variety of platforms. So we did a sample invite text. So this is something that you can use to copy paste. We use some with emojis. So if you want to use this as an invite template to bring your guests to the intensive, this is a great thing to use. We'll get a couple of other like short form texts in here, but I'll just read this one. Michael wrote this one for you guys. Hey, Name, I was thinking about you because we talked about real estate in the past. Next Saturday, I'm co-hosting a creative acquisitions class where you can learn how we buy houses. With these strategies, it often only takes a few $1,000s to acquire them. Sometimes we get paid to buy them. and then we rent them out for major cash flow. Our guest trainer has been doing this for over 30 years and has successfully completed hundreds of deals. Super strong. I'm really excited about it, and I think you will get a ton of value from attending. It's 12/12, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Time. We use Zoom so you can easily participate, and there is no cost for my guests. Would you like to be my guest for this amazing event? So you can, that's the longer form. You're welcome to, kind of abbreviate it and adapt it so that it feels right for you, but we're just giving you some templates there. So then let me pull up. And first of all, has anyone tried the link? Does it work for them? Anybody?
Yep, works just fine. Thank you.
Okay, it works for Jenna. Cool. Now, here's the PDF for the actual flyer with Chris Albin. So I also converted it into a PNG. Sometimes, email, if you're going to send a downloadable link, a PDF is a little bit better. So here's a little flyer on Chris Albin here. And then, so you'll see the PNG right here. And then when you go into pixel dimensions for things like Facebook, they're all different. So I've formatted and kind of recreated things so that they fit to Facebook for you guys, or just a quick copy paste on an image. And I'm going to finish out this email right here as well. So there's that little marketing packet there. Does anyone have any questions on this?
Are those editable so that we can change the time for our time zones if we were sending them out?
These are not, no, they're built in Canva. So I have to download them directly from there. So I have to be able to download or edit them on my end.
If you have Canva, you can upload the photo into Canva and just paste it over it with a similar color if you wanted to do it yourself, Laura.
That's a good point.
Thanks, Jim.
Skyler, can you just add the time zone to it?
Mountain Time?
Yeah.
Was that your question? It should be in the flyers. So this one says 4 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time.
Good.
Okay. All right. And then I just want to make sure again that people are super clear on how to register for this event. Because in the past, we're collaborating with the Chicago team to make sure everything runs as smoothly as possible. We're working on a more simplified version of registration for these intensives, but I'm just going to walk you through these steps right now so that everyone is super duper ultra clear on how to register, right? So we're going to go into calendar here.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Bless you.
Sorry, I was going to ask a question.
Yeah, it seems like it's important if it's coming out as a sneeze. What's up?
So how do I find that information in Drive, Google Drive?
So go into the chat. I posted the link in the chat.
Oh, you did? Okay. All right. I'll do that.
I can repost it.
Sorry about that sneeze.
That's all right. Power of the universe coming through you. All right, there it is again in the chat box, so it's fresh. All right, so if you're in the calendar, you're going to want to go to search and and type in a filter of Elevate. And that'll make searching for the event super, super easy, because you're going to find there's going to be a ton of events for the intensive in the calendar. So if you're participating in Team Elevate events, you'll see here Team Elevate Intensive. And then coming up on the 19th, we do have Super Saturday with Yaz and Umair Haq. I've been getting questions from people on the OES, like, is there a code for the Super Saturday? No, we don't charge for the Super Saturday. So there is no promo code for the Super Saturday. However, if you're on the OES for the intensive, there will be a $50, either you have to pay $50, or if you're on the OES, you get a promo code to waive that $50. All right, so I want to make sure when you go in here to read this entire description. Oop. So step 1, you're going to register your guests and yourself in Helios. Your guests and yourself in Helios. ICMs must pay $50 or be on one of the optional event subscriptions under Team Elevate, Michael Huggins, Ryan Black, or Richard Stock. Actually, we're also with Richie Galarse as well. If you're on the Hawaii OES, this also applies. So we'll get that in there for the next one. All right, and then we have the links if you want to sign up for the OES. So you're going to go in, you're going to go to registration, and you're going to, you know, find a guest. Let's see, Tyler. Okay, now if you're on the OES and adding the code, I've had to walk like lots of people through this step. So if you, when you're going to add the promo code right here, you see it's $50. So it's going to charge you $50 if you don't have the promo code. But if you do, you're going to add it in here. Now I'm not going to show you what the actual promo code is. I'm just going to, you know, type in a gobbledygook. But you'll see this blue button right here. This is where people just miss this step altogether. So I want to make sure that you click this blue checkbox right here. Now you can see it says invalid code, but if it was the right one, it would apply it. So you're going to want to make sure to click this checkbox and then hit next and finish up your registration. All right. So then we're going to go back here. Now you've registered yourself and your guests in Zoom. Now you're going to click this top link. I know that a lot of you have already done this before. I'm going to just keep walking through it so that it's clear. Thanks for your patience with it all. And you're going to put in, you know, your guest information, and you can see it pre-populates with stuff in the past. So I was entering in Michael Schaefer's information. I don't know why it has my first name up here, but then you're going to hit register. You're going to do this for every single guest, or I recommend that you do. You can send them this link, but we want to make sure that when you register your guests in Zoom, that it corresponds exactly to what you have in Helios. If the names do not match exactly, so if you've got a guest that's named, you know, Michael, and you register them in Helios as Michael, but they put in their name as Mikey in Zoom, if the names don't correspond, that person is not going to get a link. So when you register in Helios and then you register in Zoom, what happens is that the Chicago team gets a list of both those, the Helios and in Zoom, and then they manually send out a link. So that's why it's not an automatic thing. When you sign up in Zoom, it's not like they're just going to get an automatic link. It's something that's manually sent, where the Chicago team has some background staff and volunteers that are helping to make sure that if you're registered in Helios and Zoom and the names match, then you'll get sent a link. And the link will come from REI Community Events right here. So you're going to tell your guests, hey, look for an email from REI Community Events. We'll probably send out our first wave of emails this week on Wednesday. So if you've already signed up and you're like, where's my link? It's probably going to come on Wednesday. And then we'll send out a batch on Thursday, a batch on Friday. And please, please, please register before Saturday. Please register before Friday. The sooner you get your people in the system, the sooner that we can get you your links. And if for some reason you don't get them, we have some time to troubleshoot. So I just want to make sure that you start registering earlier. We might in the future start having a cutoff where after 5 p.m. on Friday, no more links get sent out. So get in the habit of doing it in advance. All right,
Skyler, I have one more question. How do you register in Zoom?
Okay, so you have this link at the top of the page right here.
Yes.
You click that, and then it'll take you to a Zoom registration page.
Oh, it will. Okay.
Yep. You put in your information, and then this is the part again where people get confused. You put in your information, and normally we're like trained in this Zoom world that you're just going to get an automatic link like that, but you're not, and neither are your guests. The links will get sent out manually in different batches on like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. We're working on a simplified version of this. All right, what other questions? I know that was a mouthful and a lot of us have gone through it, but what other questions do you guys have?
Hi, Tyler. Is it working in Smart yet so that you can register the person in Smart, or is that still coming?
I have no idea, to be honest. I've been waiting for Smart to get figured out. I haven't put any energy into Smart, so I don't know anything about it.
Eric is off ill still, I believe. So
yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
But I heard it's working. Some people that has already the numbers, they can text and everything has been transferred from Helios to Smart, and even the check-in for the events.
For a paid event as well, I wonder, or just some events? I know that some events are working. I don't know about the paid event. That was the problem.
Well, no, this one will not, but then the other ones, yes. Like
Okay.
the intro, the Thursday meeting, yes.
Yeah, I tried this morning to book somebody in via the link, and mine still didn't work. I tried to book them into the 15-minute. It said the person wasn't registered. I registered them, and their details have just disappeared into Smart. But anyway, I'll get support to help me.
Yeah, send a link, send an email to Larry.
Yeah. All right. I don't want to confuse anybody, but.
All right, and then Deborah Brick was asking, does Elevate OES, does it include or not include Chicago team events? So the only event that it would include is the intensive, just because we collaborate with the Chicago team on intensives, but the team Elevate OES does not apply to like the Chicago Super Saturdays or anything else that Chicago does. We've just decided to come together as a nationwide team on a lot of these intensives. And so the OES promo code will only work for the shared intensive. Does that make sense, Deborah? Put it in the chat box too. I'll take silence as yes, yes, cool, awesome. All right, well, it looks like we have Mr. Money Michael Huggins on the line today. So if he's available, if there's anything else you'd love to come out and train on this Monday, I'd love to bring you on out, my man, if you're here. If not, I'll keep going. All right. Well, let's do Super Saturday then. I've also built a marketing packet for Super Saturday, so let me pull that up real quick for you guys. While I'm doing that, are there any other questions on the intensive?
Just something that might help. I was helping some people try get into the Super Saturday, at least the intensive. Once you register them in Zoom, it should come up there as pending. And then if you go back in and you put the details, you can actually get that person's link and send them the link. So if for some reason their link's been stuck up in spam or something like that, you can go back in the Zoom, type in their details, and it will give them their unique link. Just know that it's a unique link for that individual. And if you give it to somebody else, 2 people get on the link, they will bomb both or one of them. But that's a good shortcut.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're individual links. So it's not like, hey, I got my Zoom link, I can just share it with my guest. No, each person gets an individual link, and this is to make sure, just from a background perspective, that the Chicago team knows who's on the event, and it's just a kind of safety protocol for running the Zoom. Okie dokes.
That case though with the 30/30 events, to get the individual link, I've seen that for our events, but I thought 30/30 emails them directly with their private link as opposed to giving it to us when the registration's done, because Sandy has to go through and approve everything and then send out the email.
They do. What I was finding though, when I was monitoring last time, is that some people weren't getting their links. It was going into spam, or they weren't getting them. or they'd already been sent them, like they'd registered the person earlier and they weren't finding the REI link. So instead of trying to hassle Sandy, the easier way to do is just go back into that Zoom, type in their email address they registered with, and it will give you that individual's link. That's how I was doing all that support last week, was Wanda's 30-day team.
Yeah, and for those of you on the line where that goes over your head, don't worry about it. If you get it, definitely use that strategy, that Anthony's talking about. If you want to just follow the straightforward process, register in Helios, register in Zoom, a private link will get sent. If you're a little more, follow that line of thought, go in and put in your guest name again and find that link. I just want to make sure people don't get confused.
Yeah. And reach out to us if you're getting stuck and your guests can't get on. I'm happy to help, see what I can do.
Yeah, Anthony's awesome at tech support and all things related to figuring out problems. So reach out to Anthony.
Thanks, Skyler.
Yeah, good practice for these kind of intensives where we're sharing it with 3030 is the moment that your guest books and confirms and gives their email to just go and get the registration done right away. Especially if you're planning on having a lot of guests, you don't want to be there on like Thursday night or Friday or Saturday morning entering everyone's information and then Sandy gets blown up. So the more advanced notice that they have, the more efficient everything will be.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so I just put in the chat box here the Google Drive link for the Super Saturday coming up with Yaz and Umair Haq. And you'll see the marketing packet here that I built as well. We got another flyer for them on the 19th. This will be our last Super Saturday of the year, so let's build. I know that a lot of times we kind of keep it insular and just have mainly ICMs, but I really think that this will be a great Super Saturday to bring more guests to as well. Yaz and Umair are a great power couple. Yaz is in the background, like just figuring out all these different, marketing channels. She's got LinkedIn, she's got, Meetup, she's got, X, Y, and Z. She's running all these different channels for marketing. So I think it'd be a great exposure for guests to see what it looks like to build, marketing lead generation machine. So this would be a great one to build for. Very handsome couple there, and we've got the Honey Badger and Yaz Haq, and that'll be on the 19th. And exit out there. So again, I've kind of formatted a bunch of different things. I do have an email for this, and then we've got their Zoom ups, Yaz's Zoom up and Umair's Zoom up, and we want to make sure you start sharing these videos because it's a great testimonial to get people to familiarize themselves with Yaz and Umair. It's like, oh, I kind of know who these people are. I'm inspired, and I'd love to attend this. It seems like an awesome event. So, pass them these videos as well. It's a great little tool. Okie doke. Any questions on that? Did the link work for everyone?
The link works, and just want to let everyone know I've added both of those links to the comments in the Facebook Live of this video, so you can find those there too. And thank you, Skyler, for doing this.
Oh, super duper. Thank you. Right. So, Linda, do you have something?
No, I don't. Sorry, didn't realize my mic was on. Thanks.
I'm gonna stop sharing my screen because I've got like hundreds of windows open, and that's just one of my screens. I've got multiple windows. I'm sure a lot of you do. Let's see. Michael also put in the chat box kind of another text that we can add is my real estate millionaire friend is hosting a private Zoom workshop this Saturday on how we made his fortune. He started out broke as a joke. Very inspiring. I've seen his techniques make money for many people. Now it's our turn. The class is called Creative Acquisitions. I paid for my ticket already, so I can bring guests for free. Would you like to be my guest? So that's another text that you can send out to people right there. Great.
Where's that in the chat?
Up. I'll repost it. There you go. Do you see it now, Doug?
I'm on my phone, but I'm going to be on my laptop in a minute. I'll get it.
All right, you'll see it. We got you covered. Well, if you re-log in through Zoom, you won't see it. So when you log back on, let us know.
It will also be on the Facebook Live, as Keely mentioned.
Oh, did you put that text in there too?
Working on it, yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Keely. Keely, give it up for Keely. Light it up. She's always working hard in the background. Thank you.
You rock, Keely.
Also in the foreground. Not always in the background.
One thing I
Okay.
want to mention. Oh, go ahead, Skyler.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, just, it's not related to this per se. Michael and I were in a course this weekend where we were assisting other people in some techniques that we had learned earlier this year. And it just reminded me, and it really inspired me of how we just never stop learning and never stop. Like, you continuously sharpen the tools that we have to become better listeners, to help people break through like mental blockages. So I just wanted to just say that and encourage people to keep growing, even if it's, trainings or different things that are outside of what we do here. There's a lot of value to be gained from learning from other people, and also offering yourself in service as well.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And that's actually something I was going to transition into to finish out today was, in additional trainings, what's one of the most essential things that we can be working on as ICMs and real estate investors are like sales trainings, right? And a lot of times, as Jenna mentioned, those are interpersonal dynamics and personal growth also pertain to sales. But I think it's something that, as a culture, we can start doing more and more of in terms of really diving into sales. I know it's been a weak point for me for a lot of years. And this past, 3 or 4 months, I've really gone into studying sales. And I have an outlet where I do a lot of volume wholesaling as well. So I'm on the phone talking to, hundreds of people. And it just, the more I practice it and the more I'm in it, I'm like, oh my God, I wish I would have studied sales way more intently. And we get on these morning calls and we get pumped up and, we go out in our days, but I want to encourage you to just, start digging into as many sales trainings as you can. We have the straight line persuasion. I don't know, Keely, if you can put that in the chat, but, Jordan Belfort and tonality, how we talk to people and the energy that we're bringing to our conversations is really, really critical. So in Jordan Belfort, it's enthusiastic as hell, sharp as a tack, and a figure of authority, right? So we've got to really build the informational base of what do we understand about Renatus, right? So it's time to renew our ICMs. So go in and read your ICM agreement. What does that entail, right? Read it 2 or 3 times. And also, go in and really, how would you explain the informational content to a prospect, right? A lot of times we lean on Michael or other leaders in the community to give these presentations, but I want to encourage again, in 2021, it's time for all of us to really, become experts in presenting this company, presenting this information, and sharpening our sales tactics and skills so that we, can really embody a different culture here. And, one of the things I've learned a lot in sales too is being the reluctant buyer, the reluctant seller. And that's, I guess, like the area I'll dive into a little bit is, even if we're not aware of it, sometimes we get in this chase mode, right? I'm sure we've all been there, especially, in direct sales and network marketing, where you're just getting started or you need that money and it's like chase. And it comes from a lack mentality, right? And it's sometimes hard to posture in the sense of like, you know what, like if this isn't for you, or if you're going to waste my time not getting on calls, not coming to this training, like, that's okay. You call me when you're ready. And I was listening to this guy, Bryce McKinley. He does a ton of training in real estate, and a couple of people I work with are doing some one-on-one training with this guy. And he's one of the top like salespeople in the world. He trained for Ford. He does like 50 deals a month in real estate wholesaling right now. And he pitches like a $30,000 training program. And so my colleagues were in a conversation with this guy. And at the end of the call, he was like, look, I don't follow up because it's a waste of my time. If you want this, you're going to call me. And I mean, it was a bold move. I'm not saying we're all there yet, but it's that mentality of how do we get to that point where we become so desirable that people want to work with us, right? And it shows when you're the reluctant buyer or the reluctant seller, it shows that, you know, you're busy, your time is worth something, right? You've got stuff on your schedule and you're only going to spend time with people that are serious. And you know, the more we can step into that frame, I think the more we'll be empowered, you know, moving forward. And it, you know, it puts you in control. You're the one asking the questions as well, you know, because it's really like, how's this going to work for you? Like, why do you want this? You know, why should I give this to you? You know, it's like, I have something that's really precious. Why should I give it to you? Do you really deserve the thing that I have to give you? If you're not serious about it, that's okay. I'm going to move on to the next person. So that's been a really interesting thing I've been working on the wholesaling front too, is, you know, hey, I've got money to spend right now. I'm looking for, you know, real estate deals in the market. If you're interested in selling, let's talk. You know, but I've got to get this property, you know, at less than market value. You know, if you want, are you looking at getting, you know, more than market value for this property? They're like, yeah, well, I am. Well, you know, that's great, but you know, I'm running a business here. I got to make some money. I hope you can understand that. And it flips the conversation of like, you're not looking to like just feel like you're taking a property from them. It's like you're trying to assess if you found the right deal or not. So, you know, it's an interesting tool to start using in your toolbox as the reluctant buyer, reluctant seller. Any questions on that or comments, you know, on sales, or, you know, I just kind of want to kick up the conversation on what are people doing to sharpen their sales skills right now.
Yeah, this is Randy Wall, and I had a really good example of this. Years ago, a friend of mine worked on the dock with me. He wanted me to make some little panels, a piece of plywood, maybe 4 inches by 8 inches, to put your fingers on while his wife painted your fingernails. And it was some foam rubber and some naga hide. My dad had an upholstery shop. So I told him, I said, sure, Wally, I can make you 4 of those for $40. I'll do it for $10 a piece. And he says, well, couldn't you do it for nothing? And I'm like, well, yeah, I could, Wally. But if you could show me that you was destitute, okay? And I love to do things for destitute people for free. But if I don't charge you $10 a piece, then I don't have any money to help destitute people. So that's how I explain it to people, and they seem to get it real quick.
Awesome. Thanks for coming out and sharing that. Who else has any examples of being kind of the reluctant seller that they've kind of had that aha moment of like, oh crap, that worked?
I am not good yet at selling the education, but Tawny Shaw is, and she's the person who's walking me through getting better. Something that she was telling me last week, right before my one-on-one, is that she'll often just like, when they feel like they're pressured to buy for any reason, then she'll often say something like, well, I'm not doing real estate deals. And yes, I already told you that I make a commission if you buy this education, but I don't need your money. I'm not doing real estate. So, I mean, if you don't want this, I don't care. If you don't like it, I don't really care, but it's here for you if you feel like it will be of value to your life.
Yeah, that's perfect. You know, and it goes into a release statement, right? You take the pressure off all of a sudden by pulling back and you know, saying, look, I'm busy in real estate. I'm making money. I don't need to sell this to you. You know, if you're looking at buying this and want to start changing your life, like I'm here to support you 100%. But if you're not, that's fine by me. And, you know, I wish you the best. And, or, you know, Tyson said it really well too. Did she use that on you, Tyson, or do you remember?
She didn't need to. I bought the education in December, almost 2 years ago. And as soon as I saw Mitch's 4 Pillars of Wealth presentation, I was like, yep, I'm doing this. So I didn't need to be sold after that.
Right on.
Hey, let's clarify a little bit though, you guys. Like I totally understand what you mean, Tyson. And I agree with you. We don't want to feel like we care whether we get the commission or not. But to say that we don't care if they join you guys, let's call a spade a spade. Nobody would be doing this business if we didn't want to make money. Nobody would be just offering free education and just like, oh, by the way, you know, if you want this, great. I'm making money in real estate and I damn well want the commission. I want to get on the pack. I want to have residual income. Your commission does matter to me. I wouldn't be doing this if I was not getting paid. Trust me, I'd be selling my own education if I was not getting paid by Renatus to sell theirs. So I think what we mean and what she means by not caring is we don't want to focus on the commission and we don't want to be concerned primarily with the commission, and that if they don't enroll, our life doesn't matter. Our life isn't going to be horrible without the commission. But I think transparency, people want to be led, and people want to trust, and people want to be inspired. And people are inspired by people who are real and people who like own up to their business. Like, this is my business. One of the things that I do is I introduce people. I don't have the ability to teach you, so I sell some education that can, right? And we're clear about what we do, and that's another business. There's nothing wrong with multiple businesses. There's nothing wrong with making money when you refer products and businesses and services. So I totally know what you mean, Tyson, and you're totally right. There might be some people on this call. There's a lot of people here. Let's just be clear about what we mean when we say we don't care, especially to ourselves. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome point, Bill. And I think that's, you know, it's kind of expanding upon the depth of that concept of, you know, when you have a takeaway or when you're a reluctant seller, a lot of times we don't go there because we're afraid to, because we think it's going to show like we don't care. But we do. Like we have this passion for helping other people along their path, and we're running a business. And so, yeah, in the background, that's what we're doing. We're here to make money. We're here to help support people. We're here to care, and we're here to transform. And that's why using these like nuanced sales skills of like the reluctant buyer takeaways are really scary for us sometimes, because you know, it feels in our gut like we're losing the power sometimes in the conversation. So that's why like studying these skills really kind of aids to it. Does that kind of help fill things out, Bill? Like, you know, in terms of what you were sharing too?
Yeah, exactly. For sure. Yeah, posture is critical and crucial, like you said, but so is transparency and understanding, and just having them be clear what Michael's famous quote, right? Words mean things. Whatever we're saying, you know, when we say we don't care, you know, hey, I don't care if you don't sign up, you know, if it's clear to them what you mean by that, that's one thing. But when I hear someone say, I don't really care, it can be construed totally a couple different ways. One, you could be lying. You know, there's no way you're not just doing this for the heck of it. And two, well, if you don't care, then why the heck are you doing it, right? You know what I mean? So yeah, you guys got it. You guys know what I'm talking about. I know that. It just helps us be clear to ourselves and honest with ourselves about why we're doing this and how we posture.
Yeah. And I think, you know, in the specific language when you're talking to people as well, is like, let's say Bill was looking at signing up, like, hey, Bill, like, I care a lot about your future, and I care a lot about you succeeding. That's why I'm on the phone talking to you, because I want to see you move forward and have massive results in your life. You know, I'm just want to make sure, like, is this the right thing for you? And, you know, if it's not, I'm okay with that. But I really think that this is something that could extremely benefit and transform your life. You know, are you at least willing to just give it a shot? You know, and that's where you can still show that you care while, you know, kind of not putting the pressure where they have to do it, or, you know, they don't feel like overly pressured.
I like the
Alright.
pressure, by the way.
What's up?
I like the pressure.
Yeah, I was just thinking about you when I said that too. I was like,
I will
Michael,
pressure.
like, you got to put pressure because people will make some dumb excuse.
I will pressure the right people. If someone's an asshat and they're not following through with their words, and you can just tell that they've been an asshat their whole life, there's no need to pressure them to get into an honest. But if someone's just stopping themselves through fear, then I press them into their fear. I don't we're not begging. Yeah, I pressured the shit out of Keely to get in. I pressured her all the way pressure. But because I know she's a quality person. If they're not a quality person, then do not pressure them, because then they won't use the product. They won't use the training. Okay. And it all starts with intensives, I think. It starts with building for events. So we put in the chat here a couple other texts. I want to see how many texts we can get out. There's, I don't know, 80 of us on the line, and usually 20 or so people catch the recording. And if we each send out 50 texts, we'll have invited 5,000 people. Now, if we send out 50 texts, we'll probably get 5 to 15 people at the intensive, and the numbers will just shake down, and about 1/3 of the people will buy something. So if you get 5 people there, you get 1 or 2 sales. You get 15 people there, you get 3 to 5 sales. I had 6 people at the last intensive with Tony Scotti, and I had 3 sales go in. So 50% if you're good, 30% if you're just working the system and not recruiting. What did I say earlier? Ass hats? Is that okay to say on this call? Tyson? Don't say ass hat? No? Okay. Butt hat? Quality people. We want OQP. Heard Les Brown talk about that. OQP, only quality people. So let the texting sort it out. How many of you, how long would it take to send out 100 texts? 2 hours? And then people start to filter themselves out from there. And the interesting thing is, I'm going to text the same people. Obviously I got new leads, but I'm going to text the same people that I text about the Tony Scotti event. And just let them know. Sometimes people don't care about debt reduction. They want cash flow. Okay, great. So does everyone have the text? Can you text it to yourself? We just put it in the chat here. Put it in your clipboard, have it, use it. There's another one. It's in the Facebook Live comments as well. Awesome. So we can see registration, and we'll be able to tell real quick how many texts went out today based off of registration tomorrow. We'll be able to see your work. So I think the main thing for everyone to focus on this week is building for this event and telling people quit making excuses. It's the end of the year. The guy who started out teaching his class was broke as a joke. So quit making excuses. And you can say that. If you don't tell people quit making excuses, they're not going to listen to you the same way. Right? If you're going to the gym and your coach, you're sitting there going, oh, I don't want to do a workout today. Why? Whatever. Quit making excuses. So, Diana, do you still have the self-confidence formula memorized? Diana Torres. It's a very lovely picture.
Hey, sorry, I couldn't find the mute button. I was in the chat. I forgot a little bit of it because I haven't been practicing it the last 4 days, haven't been saying it to myself. So, yeah.
All right. Well, here it goes.
What, you want me to say it?
Yeah. Every day.
Ah, really? Can I get a day to kind of just like memorize it again?
You
Okay.
had a week.
It's like
I know.
it's like
Okay.
one a day.
First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I will demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. Second, hold on, I get second and third mixed up. Hold on, don't tell me. Auto suggestion is 3, so.
I understand.
I understand. Oh.
The dominating.
See, Michael.
Don't blame me.
And now I'm nervous, and so now I'm forgetting
Right? Everyone's staring at you.
everything while they're staring at my picture, because.
Don't make excuses. I'm just kidding. I don't know the self-confidence formula yet.
Okay, you're gonna know it by Friday, Tyson.
Really?
You better.
Okay.
It's only 5 paragraphs. It's 11 sentences.
Okay, I'm committing. I'll tell you. I'll do it.
I'll finish it, Michael.
Go for it, Brian.
Thank you.
I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into reality. Therefore, I will okay. Concentrate for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. 3, I know through the principle of autosuggestion that any desire I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of obtaining the object. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. 4, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life. I will never stop trying till I have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. 5, I fully realize that no wealth position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will only engage in transactions that will benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve them. I have eliminated all hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity, because I know that a positive attitude toward others can only bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will commit this, or I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and recite it aloud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person.
Booyah. That's what I'm talking about. So you guys got the text, you got the information on how to register, you got self-confidence formula. Great work, Brian. Diana, we'll see you tomorrow with that. Tyson, we'll see you Friday with it. And let's go after it. Let's build. Find the people, tell a story, build for events, follow up. All right. I am late to my pack call. Holy cow. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Hi, Michael. Thank you very much.